Good, thanks. Yeah, these are really uncomfortable.
Well, thank you for criticizing my furniture choice. Thanks. Those are IKEA and they're lovely because they're cheap. That's why we like them, and it's easy to clean.
Horrible.
They're horrible, yes, I do agree. But you have the low one for yourself, so that's at least that's good. Welcome to Germany. It's not your first time in Germany.
No.
And it's not your first time at a convention as well.
No.
What is the best thing in Germany that you like? Except beer, because we all love German beer.
Currywurst.
Currywurst, that is good, that is true. That is, I agree with it, that is true. And I am not originally German, so and then whenever I'm coming to Germany, it is, for me it's schnitzel. Schnitzel, that's the thing.
Where are you from?
I'm Polish, I'm Polish.
Oh, my granddad was Polish.
Good genes, what can I say? Oh yeah, that's a very Polish tattoo. That is true. That is true. Well, we're not here to talk about Poland. We're here to talk about. Do you know which part of Poland? Sorry, I got it. Which part of Poland do you know?
Well, where my granddad was born
Yeah.
is now Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
Used to be Poland.
So from the east. Right. I'm from the east as well, but from the part that is close to the Belarus.
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you here, and you know the franchise that you're part of. It's has such a big place in, well, first in the pop culture zeitgeist, but in our hearts as well. So it must be so bizarre in a way that everybody in my age knows you. Was coming to be like to a fame, was that weird? Because you started in Harry Potter very, very, very young. What was you were 8?
12.
12, sorry.
12, 13.
So you were, what, if I calculate from 12 to 24 in the franchise, more or less?
Yeah, around about sort of 13 to 23.
Yeah.
I think I was, no, I was 13. I'm pretty sure I was 13, yeah. So 13 to 23, yeah.
That's a part of life. Those are formative years. Do you think that had a big influence on the way that you are now as an adult?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was a life-changing experience. You know, even though like Goyle wasn't the biggest part, like, you know, I think Goyle had about 4 lines in the whole series. It was still, yeah, there's no other way to put it. It was life-changing, yeah.
I think it was more than 4 lines. I think you're exaggerating.
Well,
do you remember now that you're going to list out everything?
well, in the Chamber of Secrets, when Harry turns into Goyle,
Yeah.
I had to say the lines, but they put Dan's voice over the top.
Yeah.
So technically they weren't my lines.
True. But wasn't that, but you had to learn them either way. You had to learn them either way, no?
Oh yeah.
But that was a cool theme, because how cool is that you're playing a different character playing you? That's like a double whammy. Was that difficult to figure out?
It was a little bit, yeah. We had to do a lot of preparation for it, and the producers they weren't 100% sure whether we could do it.
Yeah.
You know, so even though we were Crab and Goyle and we had got the parts, what we had to do was we had to rehearse, and they made me and Jamie, who played Crab, they made us watch the first movie. I'm going to say about sort of 8 or 10 times in a private Warner Brothers screening room, just to study their body language and mannerisms and things like this. And then we had to do, we had a dialogue coach, we had an acting coach to help us with it. It was a lot of work. And then what they do, once the acting coach was happy with the scenes we were doing, then we have to do what they call a show and tell. A show and tell, we basically act the scene out in front of the producers, and they just film it with a camcorder, and then they decide whether they're going to film it. And so they liked it and filmed it, kept it in.
Yeah, it was quite funny as well. Like it's entertaining to watch as well. But do you think that was the biggest challenge that you had during all the films, or
Definitely. Yeah.
Was there any other part of the filming that you think that was really, really challenging? When I talk to actors, they always say the waiting is the worst part of being an actor.
Yeah, but I mean that's to be expected. We were so used to, by that point, by the second movie, we were like, the waiting, and we were conditioned to that. We were very conditioned, and I think the hardest thing, really, Goyle, there's not much. He doesn't really do much, so it's like
he's there.
It's not a very challenging role to play. Stand there and look mean. But it's when in the Prisoner of Azkaban, the hypocrite, things like this. It's reacting to things that aren't there.
Yeah, that's a challenge, no?
Yeah. So the hypocrite is flying away in the woods, and they have tennis balls on sticks.
And you have to react to a tennis ball.
That's it. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5.
Wow, okay.
And then say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just look at the tennis balls.
That's challenging.
It's a little bit.
You're taking away all of the magic.
There's nothing magical about filmmaking. It's
Then only when we watch it, then it's magic, no?
Yes.
That is true.
That's,
And I can...
that's the reward.
That's the reward. And I can see that there is already some question there. Hello.
Hello. What is your favorite Harry Potter character?
My favourite, I've got a couple, I've got 2. I would say Snape. Yes. But I also really liked Gilderoy Lockhart. I remember when I read the book, Chamber of Secrets, I was in fits of laughter when I read that book, and I thought he was such a funny character.
Thank you.
And what is your favorite character?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Oh, you must have an idea.
No.
All of them? All of them.
All of them.
Here you go.
What house are you?
I'm Hufflepuff.
Wrong. You cannot hide disappointment. Thank you so much.
No comment.
No comment. You said that a lot of you guys got conditions to waiting because it was just a group of kids basically told to work. What did you guys get sometimes very naughty and did things that you were not supposed to?
Yeah, sure, yeah. They were very, very strict with the tutoring and the education. So they had a whole education department. So one whole corridor was, you had your dressing rooms in the corridor, and at either end of the corridor was the classrooms. And you had to go to the classrooms, just like a normal school.
You have tests and everything.
No, not tests. Although I think some of the actors had to do tests, but it was more. I called it homework club because they would say you need to go to your school, speak to your teachers, and get a load of work, current work that your class is doing, and you take that work to the studios, and you do it. So it just felt like homework. It was like a homework club for like 3 hours a day, minimum.
That's boring.
It was so boring. And the classrooms were just white. There was no pictures on the wall. It was very clinical and just not good, not nice. But I hated it. I hated tutoring. But I didn't want to be ungrateful. You know, I felt very lucky that I had a part, and I was very thankful for that. But I couldn't hide the fact that I hated the tutoring. You know?
So how did you guys act out? Like, did you get any pranks on the teachers, or did you run away from school?
No, there weren't really pranks on the tutors and the teachers, because they had like a headmistress. There was a headmistress there, and she was really strict. Her name was Janet.
Janet.
And she was really strict. And if you was naughty, then she would feed that back to the producers.
Oh.
And then you get called into the producer's office, and the producers, David Heyman, is looking at you like, why are you being naughty? You know. So it's not like getting in trouble at school. You get in trouble
At work.
as well.
That's even worse.
Yeah. But you know, it's lots of giggling and.
It's a bunch of kids. Do you guys still keep in contact? Do you meet from time to time, or is it now just reduced to conventions?
I stay in contact with a lot of the Harry Potter actors who do the Comic Con circuit, and I'm friends with Tom, and we text and stuff and WhatsApp.
Tom is cool.
Yeah, but I haven't spoken to Dan, Ruben, or Emma in years.
Fair enough. So you're not every Christmas you don't gather around and watch a movie together?
No.
Nothing of those.
Well, I don't. Maybe they do.
And as well, I would like to ask you about your career in MMA, because your transition to it's not very common for an actor to transition to MMA.
Well,
But is it, because I was thinking about it, those are quite, in a way, similar, because you have to kind of play a role, you have to be disciplined, you have to get ready, you have to get prepared, you have to study your opponent, so your actor, friend, or whatever, you have to do that, all this preparation, and then you have to perform. So in a way, there are similarities, or am I stretching it out a bit?
you're absolutely correct. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities.
So why would you like one day you woke up like, this is good, or was this a little bit longer process?
I think what it boils down to is fear of failure. You know, you don't want to go on set and act your scene crap, and then the director be like, we need more. We're not feeling it. We need more. That's the worst thing you can hear from a director. The difference is, it's that same sort of fear, the fear of failure. Like, I'm failing as an actor. I'm failing doing my job as an actor. And it's the same when you go into a cage and you fight. It's the fear of failure. Like, you're going to lose. But the difference is like there's real danger.
So you have a little bit more motivation because you can die.
Yeah, so they are very, very similar. It's a similar feeling, but you're in a cage. It's like, you know, this is life or death. You know, I could get knocked out. Who knows? I could get a bleed on the brain, and I could die.
It's true. So why did you choose it? Like, what was your, like, when was that moment when you chose MMA?
Well, my dad was a boxer. I grew up, my dad was a professional boxer. He was an amateur champion, and so I grew up, fighting, boxing is in our family, it's in our blood. So when I was growing up as a child, I would look at my dad and he would have newspaper cuttings and local newspapers and stuff of Martin Herdman as the London champion, and this, that, the pictures of my dad boxing. So, and he taught, I'm the youngest of 4 boys, and all my older brothers boxed. So I would go and watch their fights, I would film them on the camcorder, and so it was ingrained in me really. So I knew from a very young age that if I wasn't going to make a career, it wasn't a career. It wasn't a career. It was just something I had to tick off.
Something to do.
I had to tick it off the list because
You had to do it. You had to do what you had to do.
I had to experience it, you know. And,
This is part of your heritage, so.
yeah, and so I had 2 fights, and I won both of them.
Congratulations.
2-0. And yeah, it was a really that in itself was quite a life-changing experience. Because I was training jiu-jitsu at the time, and I set myself a goal, and I was like, when I get my black belt in jiu-jitsu, I'm going to have a cage fight.
Alright.
So then, when I got my black belt, I'd already set the goal in my head, so I was like, oh shit. Now I've got a cage fighting. So then I joined the mixed martial arts club, and I had my first fight in 2016, I think, 2015, 2016. But I would recommend it to there's a lot of the younger generation of kids, especially kids. I don't know, on the outskirts of life, they might not have the best upbringing and stuff, and they've got a chip on their shoulder and they feel like they've got something to prove. You learn a lot about yourself when you put yourself in that situation. You know, it changes you completely.
And as well, it's a lesson in discipline and you know, kind of keeping promises to yourself first and foremost. Because like many great people are advising to train jiu-jitsu because it's like kind of chess in your body, isn't it?
Yes,
Because it predict the next step.
Yeah, it is like chess.
Pretty cool. Alright.
It's really cool. You know, jiu-jitsu is like most fights, if you look at most street fights, 9 times out of 10 they go to the ground. And if you don't know how to fight on the ground, and then you go against a jiu-jitsu guy, then it's easy.
Sure. Well, thank you for that. And I can see that we have one last question. Yes, we have time for one last question. So no pressure, but make it good.
Hello. I would like to know which Hogwarts house you would belong to.
I'm actually a Gryffindor.
Oh, that's nice. Me too.
Yeah. No, I wasn't happy about that. I did the Pottermore test, and I came out Gryffindor. But you know, the French fans, they say the Pottermore test it's not important. It's what you feel in your heart.
Aww.
And in my heart, I'm a Slytherin.
Woo! And you?
Gryffindor for sure.
And
Yeah, me too.
Gryffindor. There you go. Well, thank you so much, guys. This is the whole time that we have for Josh today. We're going to see him tomorrow here. And if you have any questions or anything to say to Josh, you can visit him on his sign booth. Thank you so much, and a round of applause.
Thank you.